It's a beautiful late summer night in Salt Lake City, and welcome to Rice-Eccles Stadium as 25th ranked BYU, the Cougars, visit the Utah Utes. Glad that you could join us. I'm Mark Neely, along with former NFL linebacker Ray Bentley. Paul Carcaterra, our sideline reporter, along in just a bit as well. As the head coach for Utah, Kyle Whittingham, in his 8th season. And Bronco Mendenhall, the defensive coordinator as well as head coach for the Cougars. And we are set to go. These two great in-state rivals. Utah has won the last two, including by a wide margin last year in Provo. Justin Sorensen to kick it off for BYU. Devontae Christopher and Charles Henderson back deep for Utah.
And do not adjust your set. All the red you see in the stands, it's really red.
And we are underway from Salt Lake City. Christopher from the 8-yard line hits the 20 and gets hit there and falls forward up near the 23-yard line, which is where BYU will begin. Joe Sampson up and out. And that brings the Utes onto the field. John Hayes is going to be the starter. Of course, Ray, there was the Jordan Wynn situation, hurt last week. He retired earlier this week. And that leaves now in the hands of really two quarterbacks, but John Hayes to start.
Hayes started 9 games last year for the Utes, had a 6-3 record. Came in last week and filled in, looked pretty good. So I think the Utes are in good hands. But the future at quarterback, no doubt, for Utah is Travis Wilson, the true freshman. We'll see him tonight.
Well, John White is not in the backfield right now. It's Jarrell Oliver. And he gets the first carry straight ahead. Across the 25 up near the 26-yard line. So Oliver, who is a redshirt freshman from Sugar Land, Texas, getting the first carry. We'll have to see about John White, who is so instrumental to this running attack for Utah and their offense. Tweaked an ankle. We do expect John White to play at some point in this game, but he is not in there in this first series for Utah. A 2nd down and 5 for the Utes. Hayes rolling left. Now under pressure, decides to run with it. Across the 30 as a first down. Tripped up from behind at the 37-yard line by Brandon Ogletree. A gain of 12 for the running quarterback there, John Hayes.
And Hayes really, he was moving like his feet were in mud. But the BYU defense could not line him up to bring him down. You see the first miss there, another miss right there, and now the cutback. He fools 2 guys with that one. Pretty good stuff from Hayes.
Oliver, the lone back for the Utes. You see Hayes' numbers last week against Utah State, playing the final series of the first half and the second half as well. Swings it out to Dunn. Averts one tackler, 45 near midfield, spun down right near the midfield stripe again by Brandon Ogletree. Gain of 13, another first down for Utah.
And the BYU linebackers overran this thing. We're looking for John White on the sidelines. He pretty much was the Utes offense. Last year, 316 attempts rushing the football, 3rd in the country. And he's a big part of their offense. Had an ankle injury. We thought he'd be able to go. So far, it doesn't look like it.
Hayes hands off to Oliver, who's met behind the line of scrimmage by Ethan Madumaliuna. That's a loss of a couple of yards.
Manu Maliuna is going to be number 55 right here behind the goalpost, and watch him just shoot to a little stunt as Funga took out the guard who was supposed to block him, and he shot inside. Nobody there. Big tackle for a loss.
So 2nd down and 12 for Utah at their own 48-yard line. This is the first possession of the football game. Longer count for Hayes. Again, Oliver is the back. Running left, Oliver. Across midfield to the 49-yard line of BYU for a gain of 3. There is John White on the sideline.
Don't look happy, does he?
And you look at his uniform right now, it doesn't look like
Well,
going to be playing anytime soon tonight.
He's sans shoulder pads, so that's not a good sign. Usually guys will wear those when they're going to play.
3rd down and 9 for Utah. Well, just across midfield. Hayes under heat. Slings it out and an attempt at the 47-yard line for the catch by Wesley Tonga. And now a late flag comes out.
Well, a lot of motion, a lot of emotion in this game, and sometimes it gets the best of you early on.
After the play, delay of game, defense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
It looked like one of the coaches from BYU had come onto the field, maybe through a headset. That may have been after the flag, but nonetheless, the penalty called. And it will be 4th down, and they will punt.
You know, and there wasn't really a lot of pressure on Hayes on that deal. I think he got a little panicked back there, started popping the feet, and didn't stay with it.
Low snap. Selwood able to get it off, however, and a boomer inside the 5, and the Utes will down it at the 3-yard line. So a 41-yard punt. Selwood able to get it off after a low snap. But they down it inside the 5.
There's some nerves going on here tonight. You see right there, I mean, that's a typical easy to handle snap, and it was just dropped. And then the ball is, they're not being able to put a handle on it too well. And that's some big nerves in a big rivalry type game that usually that stuff will go away after the first hit or two, first series or so.
Actually, that was Tom Hackett punting, not Selwood. So we've had a couple of surprises already from Utah, but BYU begins their first possession at their own 5-yard line. And a snap past Nelson into the end zone and out of the end zone. Flag comes out as he tried to throw that football as he was about to be brought down by Joe Kruger.
It shouldn't be a horse collar because there is no horse collar penalty in the pocket. And maybe that's what they're talking about.
Personal foul, face mask, number 99 defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, 1st down.
Wow, this could have at least been a safety, Ray, but the face mask against Kruger in reality takes points off the board here.
Yeah, and here he is, Kruger, and you see him grab the face mask, no question about that. And it does cost Utah 2 points and possession of the football, as BYU would have had to kick it from the 20. As it is, they get pretty decent field position with the penalty, 1st and 10 from their own 20.
So a big play and a big call early in this game. Scoreless, 11:41 to play in the 1st quarter. Nelson under center in the I formation. Yona Pritchard, the fullback. Michael Olisa, the tailback. And on the option, the pitch to Olisa. Cuts it upfield and then pulled down from behind at the 24-yard line by Trevor Riley. A gain of 4. The starting quarterback for BYU, a senior from Logan, Utah, originally an Aggie, Utah State. He's really been effective back as the starter for BYU.
And Riley Nelson truly is the leader of this football team. Strong arm, quick release, accurate kid, solid runner. But to me, his strengths are his intangibles. He won't get rattled. He's got a great football IQ, makes a lot of checks at the line. Kid's a fighter. I like him a lot.
False love in motion into the backfield, and a pre-snap whistle stops the play.
And Braden Hansen went early.
False start, number 76 offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Plethora of mistakes here early on.
So 2nd down and 11 for BYU on their own 19-yard line. Well, welcome to Salt Lake City, Utah. We're only a few minutes into this football game. 25th ranked BYU and the Utah Utes from Salt Lake City. Mark Neely along with Ray Bentley, Paul Carcaterra on the sidelines tonight. It has been a rapid beginning on each side. Some exciting plays, but no score to this point. Riley Nelson of BYU slings it out. J.D. Falslep near the marker at the 30. We'll see where they spot it. Very close to a BYU first down.
Falslab looked like he tried to stick the ball out, but I don't think the official gave him the benefit of that. And now they're talking about the mark over there by the chains. And they did mark him shy. And to me, you punt the football here early on. Things have been shaky. People have dropped footballs. You've had problems with quarterback snaps and things of that nature. Wow, this is scary.
Well, they're going to go for it on fourth down from just inside their own 30. The flags come flying on the quick snap after the keeper by the quarterback Riley Nelson.
False start. Number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
And now they'll definitely punt the football.
And that's 2 false starts on Hansen. Actually, that one was on 72. Riker Matthews, the left tackle. They called 76. I believe it was 72.
That's already the 3rd penalty against BYU in this game. Each team has had the football only one time. Stevenson to punt. Charles Henderson back to receive the punt for the Utes at his own 32-yard line. Stevenson gets the punt away. Henderson retreats to his own 25-yard line, makes the 30, has some daylight, 40, 45 midfield, has a blocker. Into BYU territory along the sideline before he's finally pushed out around the 15-yard line by Romney Funga.
Boy, BYU's coverage team overran this thing. Again, an early mistake of excitement. See those two guys, 44-4 and number 2, I believe it was. They all overran it. They didn't break down. And then when they tried to stop, they slid to the ground. And then it was just off to the races. And Henderson goes a long way.
57-yard return for Charles Henderson. So Utah will have it at the 17-yard line of BYU. There's John Hayes. He's now the starting quarterback for Utah. Jordan Wynn, who was injured last week in their game against Utah State, retired earlier this week. So Hayes now the starter. We do expect to see true freshman Travis Wilson as well for Utah. Here's the pitch. Kelvin York running left. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Met by Wona Kavinga for BYU. There is Jordan Wynn. Though his playing career is over, Ray, he's decided to stay around and wants to help out his team as much as possible.
And that's good on him. But it puts John Hayes in the spotlight. Now, last year, Wynn got injured as well, and Hayes started 9 games for the Utes, had a 6-3 record. But I think he's just keeping that spot warm for true freshman Travis Wilson, who we will see usually in goal line packages. We should see him down here if they continue to move the ball.
Tonga comes in motion. Play fake. Hayes looking towards the end zone. Caught and touchdown. Tonga, who went in motion, hangs on to it. And a 17-yard touchdown pass for the Utes. First touchdown of the year for the native from Spring, Texas, junior Wesley Tonga.
They caught BYU in a man-to-man situation, ran the wheel route right up the sidelines, and then it was just a jump ball. And Tonga came down with it.
Coleman Peterson for the point after, and he knocks it through, and it's the home team, Utah, that strikes first. 9:12 to go in this first quarter from Salt Lake City. Utah leading 25th ranked BYU 7-0 after the 17-yard touchdown catch by Wesley Tonga. We've already had a bunch going on here just in the first few minutes of this game. For those of you that watched Missouri outlast Arizona State, this rivalry is a big one. Cody Hoffman, who's also one of the starting wideouts for BYU, back deep to receive the kick from Nick Marsh. Falslev, the back of the end zone. Touchback will take it out to the 25. The third member of our broadcast team is Paul Carcaterra. And Paul, we have yet to see running back John White for Utah in this game. What's the status?
Well, Mark, passing game off to a good start for Utah, but the running game took a serious blow. John White, the senior running back, 1,500+ yards a year ago, 15 touchdowns, both Utah records. Hurt his ankle last week. He's back in the locker room getting checked out. I saw him in warm-ups. He was walking on that leg gingerly, couldn't make that hard cut. His return is questionable.
Well, thanks. So we'll have to keep an eye on White's status. Second opportunity for BYU. Riley Nelson, the quarterback, hands it off. Jamal Williams. Flag is out. The referee tonight, Greg Burks.
Personal foul. Hands in the face. Number 92 defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Starla called for that. Let's check in with the studio. Here's Wendy Nix.
Mark, thank you. We check in on ABC, Notre Dame at Michigan State. Keep an eye on Le'Veon Bell. We've seen him do this before. We saw it against Boise State. There he goes over the defender. You can see the replay. However, his team still trailing. It's 14-3 Notre Dame in East Lansing, 3:30 to play in the third quarter.
Wendy, thanks. After the personal foul against Utah, that moved the ball all the way past the 40-yard line for BYU. Boo Anderson bringing down Falslev there for a gain of 2 for the Cougars. We've already seen a number of penalties in this game, Ray. Certainly emotions high between these two big rivals.
Right, and now BYU is ramping up the nitro offense. They'll go hurry up 18 to 20 snaps a game, like to do it early.
Nelson looking right, slings it out, finds Hoffman for the first time, but was out of bounds around midfield. No catch. Hoffman, though, 6'4", 215-pound junior, Ray. He's a big target for BYU.
And the favorite target of quarterback Riley Nelson. They love to get him one-on-one coverage, backside of maybe trips, and they really work him in that situation.
Third down and 8 for the Cougars. Nelson looking to run, turns the corner, dives near the marker. We'll see where they spot it and where he was pushed out. It looks like he'll be a yard or two shy. It was Starla who caught up to him after a 6-yard gain by the quarterback Nelson.
Good coverage down the field, and Nelson really had no other option. Just a 4-man rush. You see him looking to his left. Nobody there. He breaks it to the outside and outruns the defender to the edge. That's Fagergren, but did not get enough, and they line up to punt the football.
Riley Stevenson to punt for BYU. Cougars 2 possessions, 2 punts so far. Here's Henderson back at his own 10. He had the long return last time, and he comes up and makes the fair catch at his own 16-yard line. We'll take a timeout. 7:51 to play in this first quarter from Salt Lake City. 7-0 Utes.
ESPN College Football Finale, brought to you by Hyundai. Go online and show your loyalty to your school at HyundaiShowYourLoyalty.com. And City Private Pass. More music, more sports, more family, more dining. Get more access with a City card.
It's a beautiful late summer night here at Salt Lake City. 78 degrees now at game time with a light breeze out of the southeast. Beautiful night here in the capital city of Utah, and a lot of red out there here at Rice-Eccles Stadium on the University of Utah campus. 25th ranked BYU and the Utah Utes, 7-0 Utes, 7:51 to play in this first quarter. John Hayes, the quarterback for the Utes, comes back out. Still no John White. The starting running back for Utah has not played in this game. Jarrell Oliver in the backfield as part of the I formation for the Utes, who begin at their own 16-yard line. Play fake. Hayes looking to take a deep shot. Off the hands of Drez Anderson at the 30-yard line of BYU. Preston Hadley, the boundary corner, had the coverage.
Taking a shot on first down with the play action. Had his man open, had him beat. Hayes just overthrows this one a tad. And that's part of the adrenaline that you get early on in a ball game. But that one is just out of the reach. Right here's a nice look at it. Oh, that's got to be caught, in my opinion. You got to reach out. Dres Anderson, he's going to hate himself over that one.
2nd down and 10. The handoff this time to Oliver, who gains 4. Spencer Hadley get on the tackle for BYU.
You got to think it changes the Utes' game plan immensely when John White is not in the lineup. Coming into this game, White had 51 carries. Oliver, who just got the ball, had 8. And then Calvin York, another back for him, had 5. So they are heavily reliant on White. See if they'll throw the ball more now.
And a 3rd down and 6 for the Utes. Slung out left side. This is Reggie Dunn. Turns upfield. Can't quite make the marker. Going to spot him out around the 24-yard line, a yard or 2 shy of the 1st down. So a Utes punt with 7 minutes to play in this 1st quarter. Let's see who punts this time for the Utes. Now it's Sean Selwood. Tom Hackett attempted the first punt, which was nearly blocked due to a low snap.
Selwood,
they do fake it. And it looks like the Utes got it. Jake Murphy, son of the former big league player Dale Murphy, taking the snap and running for the 1st down.
and they just took the up backs, put them up in the A gaps, and had everybody fire out. Straight ahead blocking, put Murphy in running behind it. A gutsy call by Coach Whittingham, and they moved the chains.
From their own 24-yard line, they attempted that.
Well, we saw BYU go for it from around their own 20 earlier.
Oliver off right tackle. Daniel Sorensen stops him after a gain of 2. Well, early in this game, Utah had a chance for 2 points. But the face mask was pulled by Joe Kruger, and instead of 2 points, BYU kept the football. Then a run back on the punt, 57 yards by Charles Henderson, helped set up what has been the only score of this game, the 17-yard pass from John Hayes to Wesley Tonga.
Yeah, really nice throw from Hayes there, and then Tonga with a one-hand stab.
And the new quarterback, Travis Wilson, we expected to see the true freshman. And he keeps the football. Looks like he wanted to give it to Radley, but that was well sniffed out by the BYU defense. Kyle Van Noy, number 3, the junior from Reno, had that one well read.
And you got to know that when they see the young quarterback Travis Wilson in the ball game, BYU is going to come after him. And they blitzed that time. They brought Van Noy off the one side, and they brought Ogletree up in a little 2-man blitz, and the Utes were not able to handle it.
And lost 3 yards, so Wilson goes back to the sideline, and John Hayes returns a quarterback for Utah. Lucky Radley is the back for the Utes. Hayes rolling right, under pressure, hit as he throws. It's complete to the 40-yard line. Devontae Christopher. Now he's been their leading receiver the last couple of seasons, gains 15. Ziggy Ansah was the one chasing the quarterback Hayes and hit him as he threw that.
Well, he lit Hayes up. Give Hayes some credit because he took Ziggy's best hit right here. Whack onto the ground, but he hung in there, throws a perfect strike. And I'll tell you, Devontae Christopher is as good as it gets when you're talking about outside receivers.
1st down for the Utes at their 41-yard line. Hayes from under center hands it off. Lucky Radley tripped up at the 44-yard line. A gain of 2. Well, ESPN has Monday all covered. First at 6:30, it's Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's. Then at 8:30, Peyton Manning makes his Broncos Monday Night Football debut when they go on the road to face the Falcons' new up-tempo offense, which is led by Matt Ryan. Monday Night Football, Broncos Falcons, Monday at 8:30 on ESPN. Oliver, the lone back, 2nd down at 8. Hayes was looking to throw and then gets in a crowd, and he is brought down back at the 41-yard line. Again, Kyle Van Noy, number 3, right there for the Cougars. A loss of another 2 yards.
You're going to see this one. This guy right here is going to loop behind, and he's going to get there first. You see the little stunt that they run there, and he just grabs a hold of the pile, and then you got other people coming in to help out, including Van Noy.
Siggy Ansa, the one there, also making the pressure.
It was
3rd down and 10. Hayes again hit as he throws, but completes it for a 1st down to the 45. Drez Anderson, who had one go off the fingertips earlier, hangs on to that. A gain of 14, and Hayes took another big lick here, Ray.
Yeah, just a 3-man rush, and he gets hit again, but he zips the ball in there, and he's showing you some serious courage. And a football team will rally behind that. Ansa gets the pressure again. He makes the hit. But when your quarterback's hanging in there tough, then receivers, just like Anderson did on that play, are more apt to make plays for him, and guys are going to get fired up.
See, Hayes on 3rd down has been effective. 3 of 4. It's a 1st down for the Utes from the 45 of BYU. Hayes to throw again. Complete to the 42-yard line. Max Moala finally spun down around the 25-yard line by Daniel Sorensen. Will they get Moala, a senior out of here in Salt Lake, into the act? He gets his first catch.
Yeah, and he's the fullback. He lines up, fakes like he's going to block at the edge, and then gets outside and shows you some athleticism for a big guy. Mason making a couple of people miss. 5'11", 250, the senior. Moala makes a play.
And that gained 19 yards. And Ray, I am quite frankly stunned how well Utah's offense is operating without John White so far in this football game.
Well, I tell you, I watched John Hayes on film, and he can get very streaky. He can get really hot, and he's hot right now.
From the empty backfield, he throws, hit again as he throws. That ball loose out of the hands of Anderson, and BYU recovers, but they're going to say incomplete pass. Anderson never had it, but once again, John Hayes took a big hit. He was unloaded on as he threw that football.
Yeah, he's got to take a standing A count. It's a blitz from the slot at the top right there. Bam. That's the hit. Spencer Hadley comes on that blitz, and still Hayes is able to get the pass out there.
Spencer Hadley, a junior out of the state of Washington. Guy who was raised on a dairy farm, one of 7 children in the family. Again out of the empty. Hayes slings it out. Dunn ran into his own man. Now able to advance up to the 21-yard line. He is shy of the 1st down. Kyle Van Noy with the tackle.
You know, I mentioned Hayes, and when he came into the game after Jordan Wynn got hurt last week, his first pass was about 8 feet over the receiver's head and about 8 feet to the left. And then he followed it up with another errant throw. But then he got dialed in, and he completed 7 or 8 in a row and really looked good. And then it kind of went through like that throughout the rest of the game, where he would have a little sinking spell, and then everything was right on target. Well, tonight he's on target.
Utah trying to bounce back from a loss in Logan to Utah State last Friday, 27-20 in overtime. Radley, 21. Brandon Ogletree, linebacker, with the tackle for BYU, along with Mona Kavinga.
Yeah, Kavinga shot that gap. One thing I love to watch is the BYU linebackers. This is a group that comes downhill in a hurry. They play a one-gap defense, so they know immediately what their gap is, and they come flying into that gap.
Coleman Peterson to attempt a 37-yarder out of the hold of Sean Selwood, and he has that blocked. So Peterson, who was 2 of 4 on field goal attempts coming in, has that one blocked.
Just a big push up the middle.
Galeva with the hand to block this field goal attempt, number 52. Number 52 for BYU, Russell Tialavea, is the one that blocked that Utes field goal attempt and keeps it a 7-0 game with 26 seconds left here in the first quarter from Salt Lake City.
Yeah, the big freshman just got in there on that push and stuck up the hand, and lo and behold.
So the BYU offense comes back out. Let's take a look at their impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, Cody Hoffman is their #1 receiver. He's got a great relationship with the quarterback, Riley Nelson. And then Falsev, he plays both in the backfield and as a receiver. You'll see him in the slot a lot. He'll carry the football some, but a very solid underneath type receiver.
Jamal Williams goes in motion. Nelson passes left. Hoffman to the 32-yard line. Gets up near the 34 for a gain of 14. First down, BYU.
And there's very little doubt in my mind that this was checked to by Riley Nelson, as he saw he had man-to-man coverage out there, and they don't think anybody in the country can cover Cody Hoffman one-on-one, man-to-man.
They have Oppo and Friel wide to the right, Hoffman wide left. And a pre-snap whistle before the handoff to Michael Elisa. Penalties have been an issue in this football game. It's going to be the 4th against BYU.
And I think it's the 3rd false start.
False start. Number 72, the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Riker Matthews, left tackle, called for the false start.
Yeah, that's 2 on Matthews and 1 on Hansen at left side of the line.
And that winds us down to the end of the first quarter. Well, Utah had not scored points in the first quarter of their first 2 games, but they score the only points in the first quarter here tonight. It was a 17-yard touchdown reception for Wesley Tonga from John Hayes. We'll head to the second quarter here in Salt Lake City with the Utes leading the Cougars 7-0. We start the second quarter here in Salt Lake City, and Utah leading 25th ranked BYU by a score of 7-0. Glad you could join us on this Saturday night. I'm Mark Neely, along with former Buffalo Bills Super Bowl linebacker Ray Bentley. Ray, there was no feeling out process tonight. Both teams came out hitting hard. Got a little sloppy at times, though.
Yeah, it was a little sloppy early, but the thing I'm impressed with is John Hayes and the way he's playing football here. I did not expect to see him come out firing like he has thus far.
So Nelson with 2 receivers to the right. Mendenhall is the fullback. Elisa in the backfield. Here's the pitch to Elisa, and met at the 30-yard line. Taken out there for a gain of 3. This is an incredible rivalry. This is the 2nd year in the Pac-12 for Utah. 2nd year as an independent for BYU. Has that affected this rivalry, you think, at all?
Well, some people will tell you it's not as intense. It's not a conference game. It's not at the end of the year and things like that. Don't believe that for a second. This is a very intense rivalry, and both of these teams will tell you that it is the biggest game on their schedules.
So 2nd down and 12. Elisa turns the corner, 35, tripped up at the 36-yard line by star Latulele. A gain of 6. Let's check into the studio once again. Here's Wendy Nix.
Mark, thank you. We check in with Palo Alto, where the #2 team in the country is currently on the ropes. Josh Nunes to Zach Ertz, and Stanford has taken the lead. 21-14, 10 minutes to play in the ball game.
Well, Wendy, thanks very much. We do have a BYU player shaken up on that last play. Looks like Houston Reynolds having trouble getting up. A guy who plays some backup center as well as right guard for BYU, a junior from Provo. So we'll step aside with a 3rd and 6 coming up. Looks like they're working on that right lower leg of Houston Reynolds, who was helped off the field. Houston, who is the son of one of the BYU assistants, Lance Reynolds. Here's the play.
Well, you can see he pancake blocks Trevor Riley, but then star Latulele rolls up on the back of that leg. Here he is. You watch him. He just pancakes Riley. That's a great block. He's going to get kudos for that, but then he pays a price as he gets rolled up by Star Lotulelei.
BYU 0 of 2 on third down so far. 3rd and 6 from their 35-yard line. Nelson finds Hoffman, who is slung down right around the 42, which is the line he needed to get to for the first down. And a look at the spot. It is very close. They're going to call it a first down. So they needed 6 and got 6. Inside the first minute of the second quarter here in Salt Lake. Nelson across the middle to the tight end Friel. First down all the way into Utah territory, down to the 35. Kaneakua Friel, who has a brother that plays on the Utah team, a long gator of 22.
And Riley's going to look to his right and then follows that tight end over the middle and dumps it in there. A nice throw, good read, and they tried to hurry up, and then a flag came out late. And Coach Whittingham is trying to make a case over there. I don't know if Utah did something to try and slow down the pace, because BYU jumped into that nitro offense that they like to run, maybe 18 to 20 snaps in the first half to try and wear defenses out.
There is no foul for an illegal substitution. First down, BYU.
So they pick up the flag, but it is a gain of 22 for BYU. Already 7 hurry-up snaps for BYU in this game. Now Elisa in the backfield with Yona Pritchard. Elisa cuts left. Slung down at the 34 for a gain of 2. Left in for Utah making the tackle. Nate Fakahafua.
And he did a nice job of fighting off a block. In fact, he had an inside move and then played it back to the outside and showed some good lateral quickness.
Second down and 8. David Foote along with Elisa in the backfield. And this is Elisa powering up to the 30 near the 29-yard line. Again, Fakahafua on the tackle for Utah to pick up a 5.
And when BYU comes out in that particular set with the 2 backs, it is up to Nelson to determine which way that play is going to go. In fact, he has the ability to check 100% of their running plays. Said he learned it back in high school, really helped him transition into the college game. He has a tremendous grasp of where to run the football and based on the defensive look that he sees.
8th play of this drive, but it's a 3rd down and 3, and Cougars 1 of 3 on 3rd down, and that ball batted down, incomplete. Star Lotulelei, number 92.
Lotulelei is one of the best defensive interior linemen in all of college football, and you see him right there. Just instinct, gets up and bats the football down, forces a field goal try.
Field goal attempt for Justin Sorensen, BYU. Guy who had surgery for bone spurs in his back in the offseason and was unable to kick early first few games.
You know, I think Houston Reynolds was on that team and initially.
BYU, their first of the half.
And because he's injured, they had to find someone else, and it was Vaitai that had to run out there, and he was late. They had to burn a timeout.
ESPN College Football Finale, brought to you by the 2012 Fiat 500. Visit FiatUSA.com and the new 90-inch Aquas LED TV, only from Sharp.
Back here at Salt Lake City on a beautiful late summer night. This terrific Beehive State rivalry. 25th ranked BYU and the Utah Utes, 7-0 Utes. Number 99 Riley Stevenson had been doing the place kicking the first few weeks for BYU due to Justin Sorensen's back issues, and Stevenson had gone 4 of 5 with a long of 33 last week against Weber State. But Justin Sorensen had been the field goal kicker. The back issue, the bone spurs in his back were taken out surgically, so he wasn't ready. Well, perhaps he is still not ready. He was about to attempt his first field goal attempt, but they're going to go for it instead on 4th down and 4 from the 30 of the Utes. Nelson looking left, wants to run with it. And it looks like he has the first down up to the 25-yard line. Dave Fagergren was the one who eventually brought him down for Utah. But there's the quarterback, Nelson, showing he can run and move the sticks.
And he told us whenever he gets a 3-man rush, that's when he's going to look to scramble. Had a 3-man rush that time, made his way around the end to move the chains.
And back to the Nitro offense, but a crowd over there. Ross Oppo, the intended receiver, incomplete at the 28-yard line.
Let's go back and look at that 4th down play, and you're going to see just a 3-man rush. And that opens up the edge, and Nelson sees it and finds himself, makes a little move inside and gets himself a first down, keeps this drive alive for BYU.
This is the 10th play of the drive for the Cougars. They trail it 7-0, still early in the second quarter. Hoffman, the receiver to the left, and here's the option, and Nelson keeping it is wrapped up for a loss by Trevor Riley. That loses 2 yards.
Yeah, and he's going to have keeper's remorse on this. You're going to see a guy just come in from the outside, and that will be number 9, Trevor Riley. And Riley is playing quarterback all the way. Nobody has the pitch, and that play is designed to pitch the ball. And a faulty read by Riley Nelson. He paid the price for it.
Did you just create a new term in keeper's remorse? I like that. Yeah. It's a 3rd down and 12. 1 for 4 on 3rd down. He slings it, tip incomplete at the 15. Ryan Lacey had the coverage on Friel. Also Reggie Tops.
You see the late pressure coming there from Trevor Riley, and that was I think, bad judgment by Nelson. He probably should have just eaten that one or thrown it into the ground. He's lucky it wasn't picked.
And nearly picked off. Now back to the Justin Sorensen story. Out of the hold of Falslev, a 44-yard attempt, and it is no good. It went wide left. So Sorensen, who was 15 of 25 last year in field goal attempts with a long of 46, misses from 44, and it keeps BYU off the scoreboard.
And it was a high snap. Reed Hornung is the snapper, and watch Falslev have to go up, and it just slows down the approach there by Sorensen. And any little thing that messes up the kicker's rhythm is often going to be the cause for a missed field goal. And that was the high snap, no question.
So a 13-play drive for BYU, and they come up empty. And John Hayes, the senior from Paradise, California, which is in Northern California. 1st and 10 from the 27 for Utah. And they jumped on that left side.
False start. Number 64 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Vincent Jones, number 64. Called for the false start. So we've seen Hayes. We've seen Wilson at quarterback. And there's Jordan Wynn. Re-injured the left shoulder last week. Elected to end his playing career earlier this week. But as you can tell, has the headset on. And is continuing to help the team. Injured last Friday against Utah State up in Logan late in the first half of that game. 1st and 15. Hayes under pressure, throwing deep. Knocked down, incomplete. Christopher was the intended receiver, and Jordan Johnson swatted it down.
Christopher wanted a flag, but I don't know what he was complaining about. I didn't really see anything that he could complain about. Here, let's take a look at it and see up close. Johnson with the coverage, and he's going to close and slap the ball, and he did bump Christopher a little bit, but in going for the ball, I think that's a good no call myself.
Well, obviously, the defender has just as much right to the football, but he can't go through the receiver by rule, correct?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it was good football. I don't want to see a flag on that type of play.
Second down and 15. Slung out to the tight end at the 25-yard line. Dowlin Rogers. The gain of 4. Let's check in again with Wendy Nix.
Mark, thank you. We take you out to Madison, Wisconsin, where Utah State trailed by 2. But Chucky Keaton gets them in position, complete to Cameron Webb, down at the Badger 15. And so in comes Josh Thompson from Logan, Utah to win it, but just misses. The kick is no good, and Wisconsin escapes with the 2-point win.
Wendy, thank you. Here's a scrambling John Hayes, and incomplete at the 35-yard line, looking for Drez Anderson. Well, Utah State has certainly been garnering a lot more respect the last few years. And last week beating Utah, so the Utes come in as a 1-1 team. It's BYU, the unbeaten squad right now at 2-0 and ranked 25th.
Great coverage down the field on that last third down play. Hayes had nowhere to go with the ball. Ends up having to roll out and try to force one late.
Sean Selwood, senior from here in Salt Lake, to punt. J.D. Falslev back at his own 30-yard line. And a booming punt since Falslev retreating to his own 19-yard line. Makes a cutback and another spin. Stays on his feet, running right. Gets to the 30, 35, 40. Another big block at the 45. He's across midfield to the 47-yard line of Utah. A 56-yard punt, but a 33-yard return by Falslev.
Great job by Falslev of keeping this thing alive and then getting it back to the wide side and then picking up some blocks. Here he goes. He makes the first man miss, makes another man miss. Oh, bad job there of dropping his head and missing that opportunity for a tackle. Now watch that. That's a huge block. We used to call that a P-roll back in the day.
I think that was Kyle Van Noy who put that block on.
Number 3. That is Van Noy.
So first down Cougars. This drive begins at the 47-yard line of the Utes. Play fake. Nelson caught at the 35-yard line by Hoffman. Eludes one tackler, but not the second and third. Up to the 33-yard line. Gain of 14. The third member of our broadcast crew down below, Paul Carcaterra. Paul.
Special teams so critical for BYU. Spoke to head coach Bronco Mendenhall yesterday and how significant the data is in regards to 1 yard determining outcomes in games. That's why you see starters playing special teams. It's all about the details with Bronco Mendenhall. Not only the head coach, but the defensive coordinator who puts attention to special teams at a high rate.
A great point, Paul. Kyle Van Noy, a starter, making a big block on that special teams play on the punt return. That play blown up in the backfield. Fakahafua and Latulele for the Utes, but the flag's out.
I feel like there might have been an offsides in the early on in this thing.
Number 28 defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, Reggie Tops, the Utes, called for that. Well, special teams has played a big part in this game tonight. 57-yard punt return early in the game. Charles Henderson.
That led to the only score of tonight's game, and now you wonder if BYU can counter with a big special teams play leading to their first score of the night. We'll see how this drive pans out.
After the 5-yard penalty on the defense, a 1st and 5. They're inside the 30 at the 28 of the Utes, and that ball loose, picked back up by Nelson, who lost it in the exchange with Elisa. And BYU is fortunate they didn't turn it over. They do lose 4 yards on the play.
It's just such a simple thing, but I'll tell you, I don't think that Nelson wanted to even hand that off. I don't know. He didn't handle the snap cleanly, and it just got knocked out of his hands.
And Nelson was looking right.
I don't think he was handing that off.
That ball tipped and intercept. No, dropped, incomplete. VJ Fajoko had a hand on it, and it looked like he had the interception, but it came out late.
Well, here's the throw, and it's Tulele who gets the hand on it. Huge play there by Friel, the tight end, to knock it away from Fehoko.
So a 3rd down and 9 for the Cougars. They need to get to the 23 for a first down. Nelson running left. Lost the football. It's loose. Who has it? Fakahafua of the Utes was there. They undo the pile. Who has it at the bottom?
They're grinding for it still.
Joe Kruger, number 99, may have been the one that knocked it loose initially.
BYU gets it back.
So the Cougars do maintain possession there at the bottom of the pile.
Great recovery by Nelson. Here he is, and I watch him on film, and sometimes he forgets about the first guy that he makes miss. And sure enough, Joe Kruger misses him the first time, but comes back the second time and forces the fumble. And give Nelson a lot of credit for wrestling the ball away from a much larger, stronger player. That's the guts that I was talking about with him early on. We'll see if he saved. Well, they're going to end up punting this football. It knocked him out of field goal position, but it certainly saved him.
Stevenson with the punt. Henderson lets it sail over him, and that's caught right near the goal line and down there by the Cougars. You can't execute that any better. Looks like Dylan Colley is the one who was there to catch it. What's 37-yard punt, no return. Pinned him in.
College football in high definition is presented by Vizio.
Back here at Salt Lake City at Rice-Eccles Stadium, Mark Neely along with Ray Bentley, Paul Carcaterra down on the sidelines. They have a couple of double numbers, including 2 number 9s, but that looked like Daniel Sorensen, number 9, who was the one who actually pinned them in at the 1-yard line, catching that punt. So Utah begins this drive at their own 1. They do lead the football game 7-0 with 8.5 minutes to go till halftime. Again, we have not seen John White in this football game for the Utes. Hayes. Reggie Dunn gives him a little breathing room up to the 6 for a gain of 5.
And Hayes has done a nice job tonight of hanging in there and showing courage. And then he's been very accurate. You know, I haven't seen that sinking spell from him yet tonight. He's been throwing the ball around the yard with great accuracy. You see the numbers, 9 of 14. Got the touchdown pass early on in this game to give Utah that 7-0 lead.
Keep it on the ground. They carry Jarrell Oliver. Met by Brandon Ogletree. Pick up of maybe a yard.
Let's take a look at Hayes and what he's done tonight. He's taken some shots. Vanoy got him right there. Excuse me, that was Travis Wilson, but Hayes has taken his share of beatings and abuse throughout. Had a big hit right there from Hadley. I had to think about that one before he got up.
Gives you the idea, though, Wilson's only been in there for a play. Yeah, and even he's had the heat. 3rd down and 5 from their own 6-yard line. Hayes hands it off to Oliver, running straight ahead. He'll be close across the 10 near the 11.
I think they're going to mark him short.
Ethan Manumala Una with that spot. You hear the Utah fans reacting. They don't like that spot at all, just across the 10, and that's going to be short.
Well, the linesman on the other side had it marked up past the 11, and the guy on the near side here had it marked where they marked the football. And so there's a little discrepancy right there.
So the Utes to punt. Selwood standing about 4 yards deep in his own end zone. They faked earlier from about their own 24, and that one a short punt that's going to bounce at the 29-yard line. It does take a Utah bounce, but is going to be marked out at the 33. Just a 23-yard punt for Selwood. Let's check in again with Wendy Nix in the studio.
Mark, thank you. And we go out to Palo Alto for one final time because it is official. Stanford ahead of USC, and then this will seal the deal. The interception by Matt Barkley. And so the #2 team in the country has fallen to Stanford, 21-14.
Wow, Wendy, thanks. I guess we shouldn't be all that surprised with the recent history between those two teams, Ray.
Yeah, Stanford has that number.
Well, Selwood, who came in leading the nation, averaging 53 yards per punt, just a 23-yarder. So great starting field position for BYU. Elisa turning the corner up near the 25-yard line. Well, Elisa with a gain of 7. Well, get your NFL Sunday started off right. First at 10 on ESPN. It's Sunday NFL Countdown as host Chris Berman and the gang provide all the latest news and updates from stadiums around the league right up until kickoff. Then at 11 on ESPN News, Robert Flores, Matthew Berry, and Tim Hasselbeck give you the information you need to get your lineup set and give you an edge in your leagues with Fantasy Football Now. Sunday NFL Countdown presented by IBM. Fantasy Football Now presented by Papa John's. Jamal Williams inside the 20. Gang tackle all the way up to the 11-yard line. Tyron Morris Edwards, one of a host of Utah tacklers, but several of them dragged by the freshman Williams for a gain of 13.
I'll tell you, Michael Elise, watch him get this lead block. Now, he gets thrown out of the saloon. He's going to get knocked back, but look at the hole that it creates. And a nice cut there, and a big block by Elisa to spring him.
They spotted at the 12, a first down. First trip into the red zone tonight for BYU. 5.5 minutes to go till halftime. Nelson on the option, keeps it, and gets maybe a yard or two. Boo Anderson, the linebacker, came up to make the hit, number 45.
BYU has struggled in plus territory thus far tonight. They've moved the ball, and they've had special teams opportunities to get them down into Utah territory, but once they get in there, they get stopped.
Williams and Elisa once again in the backfield for the Cougars. Riley Nelson from the gun. Hoffman comes in motion to the left side of the formation. Flag as it looked like a Utah player may have jumped into the end zone. Touchdown, Cody Hoffman. His second touchdown catch of the year, a 10-yarder. We'll see about the flag. It looked like Kruger may have jumped on that left side.
Offsides, defense, penalties declined, touchdown.
So indeed a score for Hoffman on the 10-yard touchdown reception.
And Hoffman got away with one. He just pushed Reggie Tops and then broke away from him. That's how he got open. And Tops was like, hey, where's my call? Because he probably deserved one as Hoffman came in, just shoved him, and then broke outside.
Point after, knocked through by Stevenson to tie this game. A little push off on this last play, Ray?
Definitely. Here you're going to see the throw first of all. Nice throw, a little wobbly, but right on target to a wide open Hoffman. But let's take a look at him. There's the push off. That gained him separation, and it ties us up.
The touchdown catch for Hoffman has tied this game at 7 with 4:40 to go till halftime. Cody Hoffman's now caught a ball in 22 straight games and in 28 of his 29 career games. Just a 4-play drive. Really was all made possible, Ray, by just the 23-yard punt from Selwood.
Well, that and then the punt from BYU to down the ball inside the 1. So back-to-back big special teams plays puts BYU in great field position, and they capitalize just like Utah did early on, capitalizing on a big punt return to get their first points.
Justin Sorensen kicks it off, and that'll go out of the end zone for a touchback. Utah will begin at their own 25-yard line. Well, last year in this meeting, quarterback Jordan Wynn for Utah passed for 239 yards and 2 TDs. He finds The tight end, Jake Murphy, for a score. And John White, who hasn't played in this game, rushed for 174 yards and 3 TDs. And Utah forced 7 BYU turnovers to cruise to a 54-10 victory. So Wynn, who's now retired from playing, Saturday night indeed from Salt Lake City. We prepare for the start of the second half. This great in-state battle between 25th ranked BYU and Utah tied at 7. Glad you could spend part of your Saturday night with us. Mark Neely along with Ray Bentley. Ray, sometimes special teams gets overlooked, but in this game it's directly led to just about everything on the field. A fake punt, a blocked field goal, a long punt return. It's been remarkable.
Yeah, it has, and it's led to all the points that we've had tonight. And let's, in fact, take a look at it right here. The Henderson with the big punt return is going to set up Utah in great field position. As you see him making his way down the field, almost broke that one. That led to this touchdown pass. Wesley Tonga pulls it in from Hayes, and that's the 7 points for Utah. And then a great downed punt on the 1-yard line by Sorensen led to this Ronnie Nelson touchdown pass to Cody Hoffman. So special teams have led to each score. And here's the recap as you see some of the highlights. The 57-yard return, and then of course the converted 4th down and fake punt, those for Utah. A blocked field goal by BYU, and then the 33-yard punt return helped set them up. And then the Stevenson punt that was downed at the 1 led to a short punt, which led to the BYU touchdown.
Cody Hoffman and Mike Hague back deep to receive the kickoff from Nick Marsh as BYU will have the football to begin the second half. And from the 7-yard line, Hoffman tripped up before he can make it to the 15. A flag comes in from the backside. Joseph Bryant with the tackle on special teams for the Utes. Flags have also been prominent in this football game.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 22, the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Trenton Palamo called for the face mask. What was on Bronco Mendenhall's mind, Paul?
Well, I spoke to Coach Mendenhall, and he said he likes his defensive effort. He's always preaching a fanatical approach to for the defense, attacking the BYU front 7 on that Utah offense. Offensively, though, he's looking for clean execution, and he thinks this offense needs to keep its composure, especially with the crowd noise.
Paul, thanks. And it's BYU with the football to begin the second half. And we'll see if Utah's crowd kicks that noise up a bit. Nelson with time is now going to run with it. Uses a stiff arm to get to the 35, breaks another tackle and steps out at the 40 and has a first down and picks up 12 yards.